Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, January 22nd. It is 7:09 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yay.
Following town council members are present in chambers: Jason Maurer, Kathy Kohut, Enid Lapellis, Jonathan Fornkella, Alan Wales, and Duva. Here remotely tonight is Kevin Reed. Following town council members are absent evening: Sean O'Rourke, Janice Person. Without any objection, I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented. Hearing no objection, I'm passing the consent calendar as presented. I ask that communication items A through I be incorporated into the minutes of our meeting. Item 5, public participation. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate during our meeting? Please come forward, name and address for the record, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Steve Kirsch, good evening, council members, and the first selectman. I'm here to ask a question. What's happening in Pepper Street? I don't expect an answer tonight, but it's been a couple of months since I've seen anything, heard anything from this body or the first selectman. I know he's new. The project is obviously still not complete. We're in the winter months. Obviously, things don't, not a lot of stuff goes on during the winter. But given that this project was first brought up in 2011, the contract with Grasso was signed in 2019, supposed to be done in 2021, then it was committed to be done at the end of 2022. Then we were told it would be fully complete by the end of 2023. And it isn't. Yes, the road itself, the road bed is great, no question about it, but the project isn't complete. And I'm wondering what the town is doing in terms of working with Grasso so that when construction season starts in April, they can finally wrap the project up. Somebody will start looking. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirsch. Is there any other member of the public that would like to participate at our meeting? I will begin with those who are in town council chambers. Is there any other member of the public that would like to participate? It does not look like anybody else. Is there anyone online that would like to participate during our town council meeting? Please remember to mute yourself. *6 to unmute yourself on your cell phone or house phone, I guess, or click the microphone with the line through it to unmute yourself. Hearing none, seeing none, I'm closing public participation for the evening. There are no appointments this evening. Action items. Item A, Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Public Health, Health and Public Safety Matters. Madam Vice Chair.
We met tonight. Janice Persico met with me by phone. Of course, Donaldin and I met. We appointed Enid Lapellis as chair of PEPS, Finance, Health, Education, and Public Safety Matters.
Thank you, Vice Chair Lapellis. Town Council Committee on Public Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation Matters. Council Member Duva.
Nothing much to report. I know that Councilman O'Rourke is in communications with the Public Works Commission. He sent me an email or a copy of an email of his communication between me and they. Planning and zoning, I am going to attend their meeting and just offer my services, offer myself to them. Nothing really new or fascinating to report.
Thank you very much.
Parks and Rec, there have been some increases in fees, which I understand LNA has reviewed. There's been some discussion. They were passed by the commission, but I gather they're going to go back to the commission for review.
Thank you very much. All right. Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative Matters. Council Member Reed.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, you're good.
Outstanding. Hello, everybody. We did meet tonight. We discussed 6 resolutions. Some of them you will hear in front of you tonight at council. The first was the FCC minor modification of a licensed facility of FM translator application. As someone just said, I couldn't pick out who it was, so apologies for that. But we did talk about Parks and Recreation. That is true. The seasonal fee schedule. We did approve that to come up to council for a conversation tonight. Also, Historic Documents Preservation Program, State of Connecticut signing and pavement marketing improvements, project town notification, and then 2 resolutions, agreement to retain a peer review consultant, one for traffic impact assessment and the other for an economic impact assessment. This is for Quarry Ridge and Turkey Roost Road and 30 Cobblers Hill Court. And that is what we discussed tonight.
Thank you very much. Item D, Strategic Plan Committee. We did meet since our prior town council meeting. We met with quite a number of different directors, chiefs of all different sorts to talk about capital projects for the upcoming year. We will have no vote was taken that evening related to the approval or recommendation of any project. That will be done in the coming weeks. We'll get another date and we'll advertise that to the public. What I would say is if any of the members of the Strategic Plan Committee believe that they need more information about certain projects that were presented, to reach out to me and we could have another information session, but narrowing it down to those specific departments. Okay?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman Powell.
just one thing to add to that. One item that there was a consensus of the committee for was to have the selectmen look into the possibility of bringing bonding this year for certain emergency vehicles, where we're being told the lead time to acquire those vehicles is up to 48 months right now. So while we would be approving the bonding this year, the actual call on that bond would still be a ways down the line, but at least gets us, we would need that bonding approval to put basically our names on the list for those vehicles that are set to basically be out of service prior to when they'd be able to acquire a new vehicle as is, or are already in the state of being repaired every month, every couple of months. So to get ourselves ready for that sooner rather than later, I think it's extremely prudent for us to look into doing that. So that was one thing that there was consensus of the committee from the selectmen to do, is possibly bring those bonding resolutions forth for approval of this council, and then of course by the town.
Sure. Thank you very much. I do think we need a little bit more information from finance on that issue before it's probably ripe for consideration, but we can get that at the next meeting for information. All right. EMS Building Committee, First Selectman Rooney, any update?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Dual duty again, but yes, we are meeting on Wednesday to hopefully finalize the building committee, to finalize the building, pay out the requisitions that are due. And hopefully that meeting will put an end to this arduous journey of building this project, and we can move on to bigger things. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. The Open Space Preservation Acquisition Committee did not meet since our last town council meeting. Mr. Rooney, your First Selectman update, please.
As always, okay, thank you. So basically, I'd like to talk a little bit about Production Metals. Production Metals, located in Stevenson area of town, is looking to expand its operation. I did visit the business. It's a very interesting operation, global company, competitor in the metal commodity market. Production Metals has found a home in Monroe and plans to continue their services, which include metal fabrication for aerospace and aeronautics. Anybody who gets an opportunity to visit that site really should see the interesting modern technology that they use there. Also, quickly, Nutmeg Adjusters, some of you may know, donated $6,000 to the Monroe Fire Department for the honorable efforts of our volunteers, where their beloved aunt unfortunately perished on Old Zor Road during a house fire. The Cotter family humbly expressed their appreciation and asked that the donation be distributed equally amongst all the fire departments. Mark Sudoff interview with Fire Marshal Bill Davin and myself to outline the unfortunate incident, as well as express the town's appreciation and projected use for our men and women of the Monroe Volunteer Fire Service. So thank you to the Cotter family. In lieu of a tragic event, this was still a very large donation. In celebration of Mr. Kellogg, of an honorable career, Mr. Kellogg was respectfully recognized for his level of attention to detail and outstanding role in navigating the COVID-19 environment. In attendance at the dinner was State Representative J.P. Strudinsky, former State Representative J.P. Strudinsky, current State Representative Tony Scott, Senator Kevin Kelly, Shelton Mayor Mark Loretti, Stratford Mayor Laura Heidick, and several town elected and appointed officials. Thank you, Mr. Kellogg, for your efforts in streamlining Town Hall and creating a level of organization that was overdue. Once again, thank you, Mr. Kellogg, for your service to Monroe, any capacities you have served, and most as our honorable first selectman. As we all know, the grass does not grow under your feet. Therefore, we wish you and your family great success in all future endeavors. I'd like to announce, as I have so far, certain promotions or milestones. DPW promotion to Eric Caterson, congratulations, was promoted from maintainer 2 to maintainer 3, which basically means he could operate larger, heavy equipment. As far as the budget, we are in budget season. As you know, this is a grueling task. All the directors have supplied me with with their budget for the fiscal year 25-26. I have met with directors and staff in regards to needs and wants. Operational goals and significant strides in their departments were discussed, as well as capital projects, as already spoken by Chairman Formicello, who also chairs the Strategic Planning Committee. We did hold a meeting to discuss capital projects. It was kind of a precursor just to let everybody know on SBC what was out there, what they were looking for, so they could take those projects, look at them closer for the future meetings that we will have. And that is my update. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we have no matters of unfinished business. New business, I'm going to take item B out of order. So we'll do the 24-012. So I move that the town council adopt resolution 24-012A. Resolved.
Acceptance.
Well, I'm going to change. No, we're skipping that.
Yeah.
We'll go back. I resolve that the town council approve and make effective on February 16th, 2024, the following changes to the Park and Recreation fee schedule. That the following items be added. Under group picnic reservations, family and friends, 100 to 200 guests. Weekday,
101.
Oh, excuse me, 101 to 200 guests for the weekday. For residents, $250, non-residents, $500. Weekend and holiday, residents, $340, non-residents, $680. Accompanying business category, 101 guests to 200 guests. For the weekday resident, $395. For the non-resident, $790. For the weekend and holiday, $575. For the non-resident, $1,150. Finally, for the nonprofit organization / school, 101 guests to 200 guests, $200 for the resident during the weekday, $400 for the non-resident during the weekday, $305 for the resident for the weekend and holidays, and $610 the non-resident for the weekend / holiday.
I don't know that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. discussion, Mr. First Selectman.
Okay. Give me 1 second to. So Parks and Director, Ms. Yoris, has provided me your recommendations for revisions to their 2024 fee schedule to be effective February 16th, 2024. These recommendations were further reviewed by the Parks and Rec Commission, which provided their approval at their January 8th, 2024 meeting. Please find the attached document with the highlights and the recommended changes. L&A, we did meet and there were some discussion, so you can take it from there, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So what I will say is, this is a motion to only adopt the 2024 additional categories proposed by the Parks and Recreation Commission, as well as the Director of Parks and Recreation. There have been no changes to their proposal. This adds an additional category under family and friends, company and business, nonprofit organizations and schools. And this new category is now 101 guests to 200 guests. Before it was 51 guests to 200 guests. This adds an additional category, which our Director of Parks and Recreation stated during L&A was important to provide these additional fees for staffing as well as cleanup concerns associated with those larger groups. Is there any other discussion on this motion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I did talk a little bit about this during L&A and ask a few questions here. While it's my opinion that with items like this, we need to be careful of nickel and diming our residents and increasing fees for items that are unnecessary. The rationale behind this increase did make sense. In reality, we're looking at the numbers of the revenue from 2023. If it were to hold true approximately for 2024, you're probably looking at a difference in revenue of approximately $1,000 total. It's not moving the needle one way or the other. But what this one does is directly correlate to additional costs that are associated with a larger size park. More staffed for cleaning up, longer cleanup hours, bigger setup prior to the event, things along those lines. So it directly relates to the staffing costs and cleanup costs associated with a larger event, which is why for this specific one, I was okay with the increases as presented. While of course I would prefer to see them not increase, I understood the rationale for this increase and therefore will be supporting it.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item, which is specifically the approval of the group picnic reservation costs? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-012A, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 7-0. Okay, now. I move that the town council adopt resolution number 24-012B. That the town council hereby approves and makes effective the following changes to the 2024 Park and Recreation fee schedule, making them effective on February 16th, 2024. Regarding tennis and pickleball court reservations, that the resident fees in each category, tennis courts 1 to 5, tennis court 6 or 7, pickleball A, 7A, 6B, 7B, and pickleball court 8A and 8B. The resident fee be $5. And for the non-resident in each category be $20. Is there a second? Second by Jason Meckler. Discussion. It was discussed in L&A that the fees associated with the reservations for the pickleball court were desired to be reduced. Councilmember Mauer spoke extensively on that. And in an effort to minimize the economic impact on residents, is the reason why I made the decision to make the motion tonight to reduce the resident fee to $5 instead of $10, while leaving in place the $20 reservation fee for non-residents. It is our understanding that if a resident reserves for that group, that the entire group will have to pay the $5 fee as opposed to the non-resident fee or any different combination thereof. And our Director of Parks and Recreation did ask for this increase because of the management of the reservation system, as well as access to these courts, and allowing for individuals who wish to reserve a spot in order to have that ability to pay a nominal fee associated with that benefit. Is there any other discussion?
Before I do have other discussion, but before I do, I believe our town attorney has his hand up.
Okay. Mr. Town Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to caution the council in approving this resolution, only because I've not been able to do the legal research necessary to determine whether or not the restriction that applies, that we believe to apply to these fees, whereby the cost to non-residents cannot exceed 2 times the cost to residents, does not apply to this particular structure.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilmember Mauer.
We actually did that research last year when it was set, or 2 years ago when it was set to $1, $4 per person. And it was determined at that point by the town attorney. I forget whether that was after you were town attorney or before you were town attorney, that the 4 times would be okay in these instances. And it was 4 times the amount prior to this. So it's actually reverting back to the same difference that it was just for an entire group rather than per person.
I did not render that opinion. I know that for a fact. And that means that I would have been on town council. And I don't recall accepting that opinion. I don't disagree with you. I may not have been present. I'm not sure what happened, but I know that this has been an interesting issue. And as chairman of council, I had commenced some research on this a number of years ago, and it's an interesting issue. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to completely disagree with you, but I'm concerned, put it that way. I'm concerned, and I'll defer to the council as to how you want to proceed, but I would, through the selectmen, ask that he allow me to do some more research on this to make sure that it's appropriate and we're not violating. Again, the issue that this stems from the use of public grants. These were state grants that were used to acquire and to improve Wolf Park, and the conditions associated with those grants give rise to the fee structure. So you might be right, Mr. Mauer. You might be, I don't know. I have no knowledge of that.
Thank you. Given that information, I believe it would be prudent to withdraw the motion at this time. What I would say is that there is time before this fee schedule needs to be finalized, and so we can put that on our February agenda if the town attorney does find time to render an opinion as to the multiplier that is allowed for non-resident users of public facilities that use state funds.
And I would just suggest this. I mean, I know I was also on Parks and Rec when commission years ago, when we were looking at this. I'm going to venture to say that if that analysis or that restriction does not apply, I'm not so sure that if the Parks and Recreation Commission had expressed knowledge that did not apply, or this council had knowledge that did not apply, I'm not so sure that the other fees would not undergo extensive review and adjustment. So I think it's appropriate. I'll do the research, and I will do it as swiftly as possible, and provide my opinion back to this body through the selectmen, and at least as it relates to this issue.
If we may just ask of the director, when do you need to have an approved fee schedule to be able to get it inputted and active for the February 16th deadline?
Are we just talking about the pickleball tennis or?
It sounds like it's more than that at this point.
So everything goes live February 16th, so I have to upload the paperwork for what we're interested in booking early. The thing with the tennis and pickleball, that can be delayed because reservation system, and people want to reserve, it's only for Memorial Day, Saturday, Labor Day, Monday. So we can just politely tell people it's not ready to go live and they'll be fine. But I can get frank, I did have something with the state of Connecticut because it came up at my January meeting. And I presented my commission, the literature and everything that came from the Land and the Water Conservation Act that did provide the funding. And if you cannot do more than double, and that's why my original thing, I had 10 and 20. When we were sitting down at LNA, because I knew that you can't charge non-residents more than double.
More than twice.
So all of
My understanding was that from the last time we discussed that dealt with the pool, but did not deal with other portions of the park. Has that opinion since have we gained other information to a different understanding than that?
Well, for the picnics, we've always done no more than double, so we just kind of kept with it. And that's when I changed it from per person to per permit. That's what I just kind of kept following that. Because it's all the land in the park we've been doing.
And I'll state that in my opinion, this should be a free charge. This should be free of charge anyways, and it should be a moot point. We're talking about $86 worth of revenue here. We can have that same reservation system and not make $86 and just have it be a free service for our residents. That's my personal opinion when you're talking about something that only generated $86 worth of revenue, is why not just have it be free? But I think then I agree that if we are looking to charge, then we should withdraw the motion for now and get an opinion of.
As it pertains, the only motion would be the 01.
Correct, because the other one's double anyway, so it wouldn't make it.
All right, so we would ask the town attorney to provide an opinion letter through the office of the first selectman as to the multiplier allowable to the use of parks and rec facilities related to a fee schedule. Regarding that, I will withdraw my motion of number 24-012B. Mr. Mauer withdraws a second.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. And we are moving on to our next item of business, which is the acceptance of the following donations, which individually exceed $1,500, $6,000 from the Nutmeg Adjusters for the fire department. Is there a motion to accept?
No.
Motion by Vice Chair Lapellis. Is there a second?
Second.
Give it to her.
Yeah, give it to Kathy will be our second. Mr. First Selectman.
Feel excited, Kat.
So as I said, the acceptance of the award from Nutmeg Adjusters comes with terrible news. Thank you to the Cotter family and their kind donation. I know that the fire departments will find great use with equipment that they need. That's all I really have to say because it was on my selectmen's update.
Thank you very much. All right. Anybody would like to say other than thank you? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the donation of $6,000 from Nutmeg Advisors as a donation to the fire department. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those against, please say nay. Hearing none. Passes 7-0. All right, item C, resolution 24-013 is, Vice Chair LaPellis.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the grant contract number 085-01-24 and any associated documents by and between the state of Connecticut, Connecticut State Library for the fiscal year 2024 Historic Documents Preservation Program.
There's a motion to adopt resolution 24-013. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Donaldin Wales. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. As we know, the town gets awarded many different grants. This grant for $6,000 for fiscal year 2024, the Historic Documents Preservation Grant Program, offered by the Connecticut State Library. Attached for your reference is a memo from the town clerk, which provides further information regarding the intended use of this fund. This grant contract is attached for your review and consideration. It's been reviewed by our town attorney and comes with a letter of opinion as well.
Thank you very much. Is there any other discussion on 24-013? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-013, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing none, nays, this passes 7-0. Item D, resolution 24-014. Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe town notification and any associated documents by and between State of Connecticut Department of Transportation for the signing and pavement marking improvements project.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Donald Wales. So we have a motion to adopt resolution 24-014. Mr. First Selectman, any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this was more of just a notice. The state of Connecticut, through its Department of Transportation, has initiated a project to implement signing and paving, marking improvements and unsigned municipally owned and maintained intersection. These safety countermeasures aim to lower the potential of future accidents. The state of Connecticut stated that in the town of Monroe, the new signage and or pavement markings will be installed at the intersection of Cross Hill Road and Elm Street. This document did not have to be reviewed by our town attorney, as this is just remarking. This is just a notice to town council because it is a safe.
Yeah. All right. Any other discussion on 24-014?
I just had a question. Who determines the site? Is it the state or is it the town? I believe there's one place where they're putting the signage. Who makes that determination?
Mr. First Selectman, wasn't it, it's a replacement, right?
This is a replacement to what was already there, yeah. But the Department of Transportation and there's other legal counsel that supports those decisions as well, and in some cases, our own police commission as well.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on 24-014?
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, as town attorney, I just wanted to confirm that it was my opinion that this did not have to go to town council and did not require town council's authorization to allow the first selectman to execute it. But notwithstanding that, you heard from the first selectman, I just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-014, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing none, nays, passes 7-0. Item E, resolution 24-015, Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe professional services agreement for traffic and impact analysis peer review and any associated documents by and between town and 31 companies, Connecticut Incorporated, with regard to the Turkey Roost Development Project. Oh, it's BL, not
BL
31.
companies.
BL companies. Got it.
Thank you. All right. There's a motion by Vice Chair LaPellis to adopt resolution 24-015, the language of which was provided at this meeting as well as through an email to all members of town council. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Donald Wales. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Planning and Zoning Commission has a pending application for subdivision approval. To wit, number 850, September 11th, 2023, Quarry Ridge, 139141 and 201 Turkey Roost Road and 30 Cobblers Hill Court. In order to evaluate the application and a professional opinion set forth therein, the commission intends to retain BL Companies Connecticut Incorporated as a professional consultant to coordinate, conduct, review, comment, and guide its deliberations on said application as permitted by the Town of Monroe zoning regulations. The cost associated with the retention of such a professional consultant is the obligation of the applicant and will be of no cost to the town. A copy of the agreement relative to the retention of BL Companies Connecticut as a professional consultant to perform traffic engineering impact analysis peer review is included for your review. This matter has also been reviewed by the town attorney and comes with his letter of opinion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I do have a question for Attorney Lito. Attorney Lito, we also have on our agenda Resolution 24-016. That is not right for consideration tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct. And if I may, Mr. Chairman, what I was gonna suggest that the council consider this evening is, as some of you know, I believe you, Mr. Chairman, served on the Planning and Zoning Commission in some capacity in your prior public service. And I know other members of the commission have as well. As everybody's aware, there are fairly strict time constraints that statutory time constraints that commission is burdened with, and as a result, what I was going to suggest that this council could consider is an amendment, either an amendment to this resolution as suggested, or take it up under the next resolution to give the first selectman a blanket authority to enter into any professional service agreements, including without limitation, this BL agreement, to conduct any peer review analysis that may be required in conjunction with this Turkey Roost development project. The reason being that this particular agreement, and I apologize to the council for the tardiness in getting that particular item to you. I know it came on Friday, and that was a result of just analyzing and trying to select the proper peer review consultants to assist the Planning and Zoning Commission and the town in their review of this application. We were thankful to have a relationship with BL, and originally BL Companies was only going to perform one aspect of their peer review analysis, that being the traffic impact study. However, BL being a company with fairly wide reach, they were able to include within that agreement the additional impact analysis, which is more from an economic standpoint, through that agreement. However, there's a chance, albeit a very small chance, that the town and the commission, through the commission, might require additional experts to vet and or review the application or aspects of the application that might come up. And with the time sensitivity that's required, it might be appropriate. I think it's appropriate for this council to consider a more blanket provision. Again, it's limited to this project. And I want to also point out, as set forth in the first selectman's memo, these peer review fees and costs are pass-through fees and costs that are actually paid by the applicant, but the contract and the privities with the town. So, there's really no financial impact upon the town, or if there is, it would be minimal and it would be within the budget that the commission has for these types of review. But based upon the time sensitivity, I think it'd be appropriate to give the selectmen that authority moving forward.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Mauer.
I'd be comfortable with a similar blanket approval, but I would want it to be with certain conditions, mainly being conditioned upon the review, negotiation, and approval of the town attorney, condition that the fees are subject to the pass-through fees to the applicant, and conditioned that the town council will be made aware of these agreements within the next selectmen's update.
Well, those would all be appropriate.
So town council notification, at the next town council
Next
meeting?
town, yeah, the next selectmen's update, the next town council meeting selectmen's update.
So that's the next meeting of town council. Date. First one was review and approval by the town attorney.
Review, negotiation, and approval by town attorney.
And then pass-through fees.
Pass-through fees apply to the applicant, apply for the given agreement. And then notice.
All right. Mr. Mauer, is that a motion to amend?
It is a motion to amend the resolution 24-015 to be in addition to the traffic and impact analysis peer review to also include approval for signature by the selectmen to any peer review agreement necessary for the Turkey Roost Development Project, conditioned upon the review, negotiation, and approval of the town attorney, the pass-through fees of said agreement applying to pass through to the applicant, and the selectmen notifying the council of said agreement at the next town council meeting.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Union Lapellis. Mr. Town Attorney, does that sound acceptable to you?
It does, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So is there any discussion on amending the resolution? No. All those in favor of amending the resolution, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, passes 7-0. Now on the adoption of the newly amended resolution 24-015. Any other discussion?
I just have one question relative to the traffic study. And of course, now we do have the amended resolution. I've heard everything Attorney Lito has said. I do have some concerns about what we're going to be looking at down the pike, or what they're going to be looking at. And my primary concern as I read this, and I did do a little research on the company. There are hydrology issues that I can see just based on current weather patterns. They do have the capacity to review the hydrology. And as we modify our landscape, including the increased blacktop, we're going to be looking at flooding issues, which will impact traffic potentially, as we've seen in the last couple of months alone. So I'm just asking that in this blanket, Mr. First Selectman maybe can keep it in the back of his mind. Perhaps we have a look at the change in our weather patterns, the incredible increase in rainfall amounts, and flooding that's impacted neighbors from the changes that we're making to our landscape. That is something that this company is capable of looking at from what I've seen of that company.
Thank you very much. The only thing I would say is that is under the province of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order and request that. The only reason we're involved in this is to do the approval of the contract. And so the Planning and Zoning Commission, is my understanding, would have to order that any additional testing.
I understand that, Mr. Chairman, but we do have people who sit on our part of our committees. And I just want it noted for the record that this is a concern that we should have forward.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the amended 24-015? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 7-0. All right, we will be passing item F, as it is not ripe, for consideration, or it could be considered it was just, determined to give the Blaken Authority the first select to deal with that, any additional agreements regarding that specific project. And finally, item G, which is the municipal health insurance discussion. I move that the town council enter executive session, inviting the first selectman, the town attorney, and I'm going to need both of your names.
I'm Patty Gaines.
Addie Gaines and Dave McCluskey, to our executive session to discuss health insurance negotiation. Yes, anybody else?
Recommend that we.
Oh, as well as Craig Hirsch. As well as Craig Hirsch. He hid in the back. All right, so first selectman, town attorney, the representatives from our insurance bargaining unit, I'll call. Consultant, Lockton. All right, and the director of HR. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair LaPellis. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of entering executive session, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes 7-0. We are going to enter executive session at 7:55 PM.